Hi everybody, this is Mr. Finn's Fish. I don't know if we've talked at all about this 55 we're looking at. What we're doing here is setting up a new tank, doing a fish in cycle. We squeezed the sponge filter in there, which is kind of not a fish in cycle, I guess, but and then we put an angelfish in here that we've raised up. I got a snail in here somewhere. I won't take time to find him. But what I wanted to show you is just some of the diatom algae on the tank that's starting up here pretty good. I just did some testing on the tank, and what I tested for was ammonia. I've been feeding this fish pretty consistently. So we're testing for ammonia, and we'll test for nitrates. I've got a couple things going on in here. I've got the curtain air bubbler going, which is pretty awesome. And I think the next thing I'm going to do is replace these curtains with sponge filter. I ordered one from Ken's Fish. Their pros are nice. They got a very, very thick, nice coarse filter. And I also ordered some from Aquarium Co-op. They should be getting here in the next day or two, and then I'll set them up in this and probably put those clips together and make it one video. You'll see those filters probably in just about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now these are the two filters I was talking about. This one's from Ken's Fish, and I would tell you the size and everything, but I threw away the packing slip. This one, I want to say they're both right around $7, $8. The one from Aquarium Co-op came in, sponge filter. That's a pre-filter, so it's $7.99. The coarse sponge, and this is the large one, up to 40 gallons, or 40 gallons and up. $7.99. So there's that one. That's the green one there. And the Ken's Fish is this one here. It's a little bit taller. I think these ones I picked them both because they were about the same size. And I just wanted to go over some of the differences on them. This one's a little bit taller. Has, right off the bat, you can see it has a longer uplift tube. And so about 5-6 inches. And this one has a much shorter uplift tube. Bigger around sponge on this one. And not so far around on this one. These are grooved like your traditional sponges. Most sponges are. And this one has a very coarse filter to it. So the porosity is much bigger than this one. They're both larger porosity though. They're not the fine filters that you're going to find in a bunch. Here's another, and this is supposed to be a coarse filter too. But this even has, this is just some of the pre-filter sponge material I've been using. So these are a little bit bigger porosity, and that keeps them from getting plugged up super easy. Now I just wanted to do some quick breakdowns of them. Here, check this one out while I pull this guy apart. Oop, drop some bits. Alright. So here's just a quick breakdown of them. This is the Ken's Fish one, and I can see right off. That's not quite centered, is it? I don't know, maybe it is. Or it looked a little off center when I was looking at it. But there's the bottom piece, and that's the weighted piece, and these are the pieces that snap into it, and this is what your inside will look like. I notice there's only one place to attach a hose or air line. It doesn't have the place to attach in the bottom. Down here it's just empty, so you'd have to run an air stone. Can you? Yeah, you can. Off of that attached piece all the way down to the bottom. And then the Aquarium Co-op one, I just set you down. I'll probably delete this part out. And there's the Aquarium Co-op, and obviously you can see the Aquarium Co-op is green, which is going to be, you know, maybe, I think it's just more their colors than anything else. But they say online a little bit about doing algae. You can't see the algae on it. That wouldn't be my high priority. I'd almost rather see the algae. And they got the same thing on the top, so the tops are real similar. I'd say, looking at them here, the bottom of the Aquarium Co-op is definitely a little heavier, maybe a little better built than the Ken's fish. And it has this on the bottom. So you're going to you can connect a piece of hose in between the two. So take a piece of hose from there, take it down into the bottom, and it would bubble out of the bottom even without having a stone. This one you'd have to have a stone or rigid line. That's really the two. I like, just looking at them, I think I like the Aquarium Co-op a little bit better. I don't think there's giant differences between the two as far as surface area or anything like that. I think you're going to get more surface area on the sponge with this one because it's finer. But this one's going to get plugged up a little bit less often, and to be honest with you, that's pretty important to me. I'll show you one from Ken's that I've had running for a while. This is their big one, and I run this in my 40 breeder that's growing out plecos. And you can see that's pretty gunked up, and it's been in there, and I'll be honest with you, I've had that in there for months and I've never cleaned it. The plecos keep it pretty clean, and the snails. But I'm thinking that the Aquarium Co-op with this sponge being a little more coarse is going to take a little longer to gunk up as well. The other thing, Aquarium Co-op ships it in a box. Not that that's a big deal. Ken's Fish doesn't ship it in a box. As far as its own box, it just comes packed in with the rest of your stuff. And Aquarium Co-op sent me a free sticker, which is cool. I mean, you got to note that because that's pretty neat that people are sending you free stuff. And in the same order, I'll just show you. I ordered a medium intake filter sponge and a large intake filter sponge, and I like the way these look. They're a little bit more rigid, and they weren't terribly expensive. I think the large one was $7.99, same price as the whole sponge filter, but I've got the big hang-on back that I've had troubles with the intake sponges on, so getting plugged up constantly, and I thought I'd try a small one upstairs too. So there they are. I will pop it into the 55 here I'm working on and show you the difference, and that will happen just about. And there they are. Now I'm jamming a ton of overflow air through these from my tank racks. It's getting all the excess air, and I haven't put a valve on it yet to control it. So it's getting everything overflow, and I'll probably leave that for days because I was running that much air in here before. But as you can see, they're both really ripping. I would say the longer tube might be creating a little more flow. The shorter tube probably looks a little better in the tank, right? But the other thing I would notice is, and I am jamming way too much air through here, so I want to precursor that. And I ran them both the same. I put a piece of aquarium tubing to the bottom and a piece of aquarium tubing to the bottom. I did not connect it in the bottom of this one, just so that they were the same. You can connect that to the bottom attachment that the Aquarium Co-op put in there, and I think that attachment's so that you can connect more than one of these together. That being said, you can see that there is, when you jam this much air through here, that coarser sponge does let some get out, so that may be an issue for some people. And I'm going to I've got the air line in my tube, the supply line, and just slow it down a little bit and see if that goes away. Yeah, that does. If you were to run a normal amount of air through there, it does seem to stop that. So yeah, if you're running a normal amount of air, you wouldn't have that issue by the looks of it. But I'm going to run it on turbo until this tank gets rocking and rolling. When you're doing that, you want to have a nice tight fitting lid because it's very turbulent up in there. But I'll adjust these a little bit. I just wanted to show you them in use. I would say overall the Aquarium Co-op one looks to be maybe a little bit better built, other than The overflow there, I haven't had any issue, or the air escaping, I haven't had any issue that I think of. This one seems to be crooked, and the sponge seems to be kind of off center. I do like the longer uplift tube just for general purpose. For what I'm doing, I would probably prefer that. But if you're putting it in your tank in your living room or something, you might want a smaller tube. But I'm just using it as a breeder, and it's called the Pro from Ken's Fish Room, or Ken's Fish. So it's meant more for in a breeder tank. But I like them both. But I think I'll be ordering the one from Aquarium Co-op. If for nothing else, it gave me free stuff, which is awesome. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.